Car Buying Clinic. By the way, I want to thank everybody that's here. I sincerely appreciate you spending time with me. It means an awful lot to me that you decided to give up part of your day. Kathy, it's nice to see you over there. I appreciate her coming down. It's really great when you guys come down. I would encourage you, even if you come to this one, come to them every year. We're going to do them every year for Associated Credit Union. Third year in a row that we're doing it. Before we go back to your questions, I want to tell you a little secret. And by the way, the folks that are listening at home, all during the breaks I've been giving secrets that I don't give to you. That's one of the values of coming. They learn things you don't learn. Tough. All right? That's the way it's going to be. Now, I know it's harsh, but we'll share one with them. Here's the one we're going to share. Disclosure. Fancy word, legal word, disclosure. Here's the question. If a car is damaged, does the dealer have to tell you? Do they have to disclose it? Wow. Okay, so the answer was if they know. What if I told you that was incorrect? The dealer, and we're going to break it down new or used. Here's the rule in Georgia. The dealer does not have to tell you anything about the car. He could have smashed it and dropped it off a lift and say, don't you like it? There is no requirement for disclosure of prior accidents or condition on any used car. What about a new car? What if the car fell off the truck? Do they have to tell you? And it's new. You think you're buying something in the wrapper. It's supposed to be new. So your gut would say yes. What if I told you they only have to tell you about damage if it's more than 5% of the list price? So a $20,000 car has to have more than $1,000 worth of damage. So if a kid is parking cars on the lot and smashes into it, and they repaint it, and they send it to the body shop for $600, they don't have to tell you. Ooh, not good. That's called disclosure. Disclosure in the state of Georgia. All right, that's one of the interesting tips. Doug, what do we got?
And we've got one from Michael here who's shopping new cars.
Yeah, I'm looking at a particular car now. Say if you want to get a Chevy Malibu, is it a good idea to go to the dealership closer to you or go to multiple Chevy dealerships?
Oh, what a great question. First off, great car. Redesigned, even the Impala. Anybody see the Chevy Impala at the auto show? Yeah. What a beautiful car. All right, so yeah, great car. You go online. Here's a real fast tip. You get your cheapest price when you shop online. Because when you're ready, and this is assuming we've test driven and you like it and the clothes fit, so to speak. Remember I told you got to test drive, and you decide this is the one I like, this is the model I like, and now we start to shop online. Use 3 dealers. I would recommend you use the 3 closest to you, and because they're going to try to earn your business more if you're right there. They don't want somebody else selling you. It's like a guy coming in from another school and, dating a girl that's in the school, right? We don't want her dating outside the school. We don't want you buying from someone else. So you go to the dealers locally, right? And so they'll make you an offer. As far as which car to buy, interestingly, you're going to have 3 choices if you're looking at a new car. You can buy something that's on the lot. That's an option. You can buy something that's inbound, meaning it hasn't yet arrived, but it's on the way. Or you can order a car. A lot of people don't realize they can actually order a car. So if you know you need a car in 6 weeks, you can go to the dealer and actually build out the one you want. I want it with this interior and that, and you can pick and have a car built for you. You can also, if you can't find the car you want, and Val asked the question about going out of state, you can go to a dealer of your choice and ask them to locate the car. What the dealers will do is they'll find the car and they will swap with another dealer. I buy yours and I sell you mine. And that way it's kind of an even transaction for them, and then they sell you the car that you're looking to buy. Now, where do you get the cheapest deal? A swap, an inbound, in stock, or a locate? You're going to get your cheapest deal either on an inbound or ordered car where they can sell it to you and get it off their lot super fast, or a stock vehicle. Why? The question of why. If they buy a car from another dealer, they had to pay that other dealer profit, so their cost is a little higher than if they bought it from the manufacturer. If you take delivery right after it arrives, there's something little known inside the industry. The dealers get money to help finance the purchase of that car. They get an interest credit. It's called a floor plan credit, okay? the dealers actually buy all the cars on their lots. That dealer owns that car. It's not there and like they go back to the manufacturer. So they have to find someone to buy the car. And imagine if you had to buy every car. So $30,000 and there are 100 of them, it's $3 million. 200 of them is $6 million. It's a lot of money. And it's all like on a credit card called their floor plan line. Now the manufacturer says, here's some interest to offset it. We don't care if you sell it in a day or if it takes you a year. You get the same amount of interest. So if they sell in a day, that interest becomes profit. So it's to their advantage to turn their in-stock inventory really fast, or instead of swapping a car, to order a car, because then they're going to get that interest credit. Okay?
And another good one here from John.
Is there any particular time of year that it's better to buy a new car? I've heard about when new cars come in, prior year on the lot, etc. What is actually what happens?
So you believe me now, right? That have I established enough credibility with
Yes.
you? Okay.
Definitely.
All right, so there are 2 times a year, 2, that always stand out better than the rest if you can time your purchase. The model year change, which is typically around August, or the end of the calendar year. Okay, and I'm going to give you the whys, and then I'm going to give you some exceptions. Okay? Why? Why does it help you with the model year change? So at August they change. So we're in the 2013s, and the 2014 models are going to start to arrive. Remember, I told you the dealers buy the car. So they have their lots filled with these 2013s, and the manufacturer wants to sell them cars. But now they're building the new one. So the manufacturers come out with more incentives to the consumer and more incentives to the dealer. Get those old ones off your lot so you can start ordering the new one. So it becomes a great opportunity at model year change to buy the older model. Does that make sense? So in August, if you're looking for a great deal on a new car, the 2013s will all be on sale in August with big incentives. You still get the same discounts we talked about from the dealer, but now the rebates are much higher. The dealer's goals that we talked about during the break, they have to hit certain goals, much higher. Why we negotiate down and we look for those really aggressive deals towards the end of the month. So at the end of June, the end of July, the end of August, that's when you're going to have your biggest sales times. If I were shopping, I'd be test driving the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'd be getting ready for some business that last week of the month, because I know I'm going to negotiate hard in summertime. The next best time is the end of the calendar year. Why? Because the executives at the manufacturers are trying to hit their goals. They've got incentives and they've got bonuses. Hit your 4th quarter goal, hit the annual goal. So they put out all sorts of incentives to the dealers because they're in a race. Who's going to have the best luxury sales? Will it be BMW or will it be Mercedes? Who's going to sell more cars? Will it be the Camry this year or will it be the F-150? Will Chevy beat Ford? You don't think there's competition? Those guys would kill each other if they could, okay? So the idea is lots of competition. The exceptions are when you have a manufacturer like Nissan, using them as an example, whose fiscal year is March. So you'll find all of a sudden it's March. Why do they have a tent sale every March? Why do they have a tent sale? They have a tent sale because it's the end of their fiscal year and they're trying to hit their annual goals, okay? All right. Did you have one more?
I was wondering, how do you find out about all these incentives? I mean, go online to the manufacturer's website?
Yeah, so all the consumer incentives will be online and they're at the manufacturer's website, and you must go there if you're buying a new car before you go anywhere. Always go to the manufacturer's website first to find out their current offers. You'll see their interest deals and their consumer rebates. There's no place for you to go to find the dealer incentives because they're not yours. They're the dealer's incentives. The way you find those out is by going to different dealers and making offers and negotiating with them via the internet to try to find the deals, unless you know someone in the industry. But trust me, I'm telling you that they work monthly. Car business is a monthly business, and then as you get to the end of the calendar year and the end of the model year, the incentives spike. Okay?
I think Nula here is going to do a little psychological ones. All right.
All right.
Hi, I'm New Love, and my question is, you said earlier there's no buyer's remorse?
No,
Is
I never said no buyer's remorse. I said you can't bring it back.
okay, we can't bring it back.
Right.
Okay, but I was wondering, does the dealer do they have a remorse? Like for instance, if they say, oops, I forgot to charge you for, are we obligated to honor that?
Oh, okay, that's such an interesting question. So let's talk about remorse as the emotional side, and then let's talk about the contract, the oops side, okay? So the emotional side, I am sure dealers have remorse that they sold a car too cheap when the next guy comes in, and I am sure some consumers have remorse when they go home and the guy next door neighbor goes, you paid how much? That's remorse too. So there are times that both parties feel bad about a deal, right? So how do you avoid the feeling? You avoid the feeling by knowing and doing your homework and having information. As far as contractually, no right to return a car, there are some exceptions. There are 3 exceptions. The consumer has a right to return the car if, 1, you were financing the car and your financing was declined. And I mean the dealer was arranging the financing. Okay? Number 2, the dealer agrees to take the car back. They don't have to, but if they agree, you go and they say, all right, no problem, let me take it back, we'll put you in something else. They can do that. And the third is if there is an off-site sale. And that would be an example of a tent sale. Have you guys ever seen where a dealer will put tents up at like a mall and they'll try to sell cars, right? Well, at those tent sales under Georgia law, since it's not being sold at their place of business, you have a 3-day right of return because you're away from the dealership. Those are the only 3 exceptions. Now, what happens when the scenario is they didn't get your financing approved? Well, there is no deal. The dealer will call you and say, I need you to bring it back or bring me an additional $1,000, or I need you to re-sign the contract. What they're not telling you is you have the option to just return it. It's an option. It's your option. You can say, thank you very much, I'm just going to give it back, or you can agree to the new terms. Okay? But the dealer can never say, bring it back, we want to sell it to someone else for more money. They can only demand it back if your financing is declined. Okay? Did you have a follow-up?
Well, it's just that I purchased a vehicle.
Hold on. Radio can't hear you.
Okay. I purchased a vehicle and I had a trade-in. They asked me, has this car ever been damaged in an accident? And I said yes. The damage was still there, but they were so busy salivating over the money that they were going to make from my vehicle because it was 4 years old. And they didn't get the money that they anticipated. So the next day I got a call and said, they were saying, we sold you the vehicle, we didn't charge you for that bug shield that we put on it, can you bring it back? So I was wondering, I didn't take it back of course, but I was wondering, was I obligated to do anything?
It's a great question. The answer is no. The dealer was actually acting completely inappropriately. All right? They made a bad deal. They're big boys. They're the merchants. If they screw up, they have to eat it. Okay? Yeah, well, they offered her a job, is what she said. But I wouldn't work for it because you don't work for somebody. It's all the honor system. I mean, it's a very interesting business. Car business, everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows who will keep their word. It's very important. When we come back, I'll give you guys some tips of what kind of dealers that you go to. I'm Adam Goldfein. You're listening to the 3rd Annual Car Buying Clinic, brought to you by Associated Credit Union on News Talk WSB.